and Dave Daily right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley. I'd like to show you a late Christmas gift that showed up.
Oh, sweet. Oh, God.
Yeah. Thank you, daughter. Fake daughter Teresa and kids. Come through.
You're number one.
Oh, look at that.
God, this is so, that bothers me because you don't care.
Oh, I care.
That's what gets me. You don't care. And you shouldn't wear that shirt because you don't care.
Want to see the back?
Don't.
Look at there.
Yeah, no, I don't. I really don't.
There's the
I
whole
really
season,
don't. Yeah,
my friend.
Yeah, the whole season. All those games you didn't watch.
All
and had no idea.
season long, right there.
Real
You know
quick,
what they call that?
gonna...
They call that the Amazing Blue.
Okay, Andy, without looking at your phone, without looking it up, name Michigan's quarterback.
Michigan's quarterback is named Bob.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not even going to. You don't have the right to wear that shirt.
Well,
You don't have the right to wear that shirt.
National champions.
Yeah.
Hail.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. To the victors. Valiant. Hail. To the conquering heroes. Hail.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Sing along with me.
No. Never.
Right.
We'll never do it.
Yep.
Can't do it.
All right. Well, I guess it's the spanking machine for you after the show.
Uh-huh.
So you watched Kunk on Earth.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's funny, right?
First episode. I got into a couple things. I watched The Greatest Night in Pop on the making.
Okay, I was thinking about that for tonight.
That is really, really good. My only issue, it's so because the woman's going through all the laundry list of incredible names, and you see them interacting with each other over the course of 8 hours because they were making this right after the American Music Awards because that's the only way they were getting all these people together at the same time. They had one shot at this. Springsteen flies over after his last show. They had Bob Dylan there. You got Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie writing the thing. All the lead up to it, and watching all these people like having to be on their A game in front of each other,
right? To
just hit their one quick little solo shot, and it was phenomenal. The only thing they don't address is one of the I can't remember what her name is, talking about all the people, and then she says, "Oh, and I also wanted Dan Aykroyd." Not explaining why he was there. There was
he was there.
I understand Dan Aykroyd was one of the singers in We Are the World.
I did not know that.
You had all the most incredible voice talent in the history of music, and Dan Aykroyd. Now I understand he was one of the Blues Brothers, the fictitious band from SNL back in 1976. But keep in mind, this is January of '85 when they're recording this. I mean, Aykroyd. He was just off, Ghostbusters, I guess. But I mean, it wasn't like he was an A-list anything. And I like Dan Aykroyd. I'm a Dan Aykroyd fan. He's doing some interesting stuff now. But the fact that he was there was bizarre.
That's weird.
It was bizarre. But it's seriously, it's an hour and a half. You will be. It will put you back in that era. It was so good in all the difference because you had Kenny Rogers there. You had Willie Nelson. It was honestly, a who's who.
The older I get, the more I appreciate a few of those Kenny Rogers songs.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, he was. It was.
I love
phenomenal.
Love Will Turn You Around. That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
The Gambler's fun to listen to again. Coward of the County. And you know the one that really sticks out to me for Kenny Rogers, and it's not for the subject matter. It's for the production value of it. Daytime Friends and Nighttime Lovers. The way that was recorded and the layering of the vocals and everything else that goes into that song is on par with the Beach Boys record as far as the production value that goes into the tune. And the Beach Boys, here's a little music history for you. The Beach Boys were the first to use multi-track layering of voices.
I think I heard
because
that.
It's all one voice that you hear doing the harmonizing.
Right.
So and I bring this up because everything that you hear today that's new music and layered voices and all that kind of stuff, it's one button. It's called auto-tune.
Right.
And back in those days, Kenny
It didn't
Rogers, Beach
exist.
Boys, all that other kind of stuff. Even Michael Jackson, and you can go
Mhm.
online and find it. They would have to sing each piece over and over and over again to layer those recordings and make that sound. The Michael
Yeah,
Jackson
yeah.
thing, if you can find that on YouTube, it's him singing every note on top of each other,
Mhm.
and it's like 16 layers of different notes. How can you do that with a
You
voice? I
can't.
mean,
You.
dude, that's mastery.
It is. These are musical geniuses. This is
Beyond that,
because Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie wrote the song. That's
yep,
it's fascinating. I mean, they're doing this in Michael's house,
yep,
and Michael's got his like parrot or his bird and his a dog or cat or something are having a squabble down, and they're in a time crunch trying to
yeah,
get this thing done. On top of trying to get all these musicians to agree, and then the tension of trying to get Prince there, which inevitably fails because Prince was a douche about it. But it was the tension that you could feel in the room. It puts you in the room
cool.
with these people, and it was Huey Lewis was fantastic. I mean, it was like they were all like kind of in awe of each other.
I've
That's what was amazing.
I know Huey a little bit from different shows here and there.
Mhm.
He is as advertised everywhere. Huey Lewis is laid back. He's ultra cool.
Yeah,
He's a
everybody says
great
that.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
great dude.
like the nicest guy, like the perfect. So he ended up singing what was supposed to be Prince's
Wow.
solo, and
Wow.
then yeah, and oh god, it was so the whole thing though. Everybody like Bob Dylan with his kind of distinctive Bob Dylan voice, struggling with it a little bit, and then there's this really cool scene where Quincy Jones is kind of playing amateur psychologist with Bob Dylan because Bob Dylan is really struggling and he's being so cool, and then Stevie Wonder showing Dylan how to do like imitating Dylan's voice.
Wow.
Do it like that, and he because he's
Can't
like
wait to
a
see it.
perfect mimic. It's you will love it.
Oh,
You
one
will
final thing
absolutely
about
love
Huey Lewis before we start. Huey was over at Soaring Eagle, and I called my sister up. I said, "Hey, let's go over to Soaring Eagle and see Huey Lewis." This was a few years ago.
it. Mm-hmm.
And all right, so we all get in the car and go over there. We go say hi to Huey and all that. Go back out, see the sister. After the show, my sister walks out, throws $5 in the slot machine, and wins $1,200 or $1,600 or some
Oh man,
shit like this, right?
awesome.
And as we're standing there on a family group outing, and Liz wins $1,600, I looked at her and I said, "Remember that time in Florida when we were 12 and 9, and I found $50 in the Bible, and Mom made me give you half?" And Liz is like, "Yeah, no, I don't remember that," and she walked off. Thanks.
Oh, good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. But
Regale
you'll
me
love
with the
it.
news
It's so
reports.
good. Let's get into it. Despite inflation and high interest rates, things actually appear to be on the upswing, at least in the job market. Over 170,000 jobs were added in January, which was better than expected. However, the jobless rate did uptick from 3.7 to 3.8%, many simply dropping out. But keeping that number under 4% is probably a good sign. So it's like you're looking for little nuggets of optimism, and that's at least one that you can kind of hang your hat on for 2024. So we'll wait and see how the rest of the year shapes up, but at least that's a positive
I love
sign.
positive.
There you go.
I love positive.
What else is going on? For the first time ever, an advertising company that worked on Purdue Pharma's OxyContin account has settled a lawsuit. The suit accused the French marketing company Publicis, I believe that's how you say it, of falsely marketing opioids as safe. The company has agreed to pay out $350 million over the next 2 months and not to take on any more opioid clients. I still have yet to see Dope Sick. I need to see that.
Yeah, is that the one with Matthew?
It's got Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really. It's It's another one of those movies. Like you got to be in the right frame of mind,
Right.
to see. And there's something. It's like because you're not going to feel good watching it. It's going to make you uneasy. And this is,
That's one thing that might be the debate
ugh.
here at our house tonight, because sometimes Friday nights are the whodunits, or as Cindy
Mhm.
likes to call them, how to. Um,
Just in case, Andy, I
just in
got,
case.
just in case you aggravate, you just hit
She's like,
that one
she's
spot.
like, see
And I'm like,
that? See how she buried 17 bodies in
yeah,
her backyard and
there
got
you
away with it?
go.
I know.
Interesting.
I always keep my mouth shut.
I won't have
But
to YouTube this. I could just save it. Yeah. Finally, more housing coming to downtown Ski Town. Second phase of the Lakeview Lofts residential project could begin construction this year. The city began allowing studio apartments in the newly constructed buildings in 2022. Current plans are for up to 70 studio and one bedroom apartments. I don't know how you feel about this. I think this is great because who rents studio and one bedrooms? It's young people, it's 20 somethings. You want to get them out. They're the ones that are going to be hitting the bars downtown, hitting the restaurants. They're the future of your community, and you're that close to the lake. I mean, that could really be
let
a
me walk
huge boon
let me
to
walk you
Muskegon.
through my feelings on this. First
Go
and
ahead.
foremost, I think it's great. And I hope to God it happens.
Hmm.
All right. Second of all, it makes me concerned that the word might is in the story. And I'll tell you
Okay.
why. Muskegon is exhausted from might, maybe,
Hmm.
we'll see, we hope. All
Right.
this. So when a story like this comes along, it's great. And we want this to happen.
Hmm.
However, if something like this does not go through for whatever reason in August, hey man, weren't we supposed to get a new big apartment building
Hmm.
here? What happened? Why isn't this going on? We're getting screwed again. We got taken to the cleaners. And let me tell you something. This is symptomatic of repeating behaviors over 20 years of people
Hmm.
coming in and making promises that don't deliver. It's an observation of a group of people in our society that I've made because I see it in every corner of this county. All the promises made in Muskegon Heights, all this, all that, everywhere else we go. And to jump on every story like it's the next big step in our progress in this town, even though might is still in there,
Hmm.
I need to back off on that. We need to back off on that a little bit. It's not that I want to kill hope. It's not that I'll give you a great point. Adelaide Point that we've got being built downtown. You know, that's a big
Hmm.
ass project. It's huge. And I am all for it. And I think this guy, Ryan Leisman, that's putting it up, I believe in him. And I think he's got the right idea in mind. However, if this project didn't go through for some reason, for whatever reason, it would be a cataclysmic, uh, community-wide slap in the face again. You know, and I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it for the people here. I'm not poo-pooing it at all. I'm all for it. I think it's great. Now, I'll take this as a caveat too. Rent is going to be important. What this is going to
Hmm.
cost to rent. And then
Oh yeah.
we have to start looking at this idea. All right, so we got these renters here. When they eventually want to become homeowners, where are they going to go? Are they going to have to buy 100-year-old house and then renovate it for another
Mhm.
100,000?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
are we
The
going to have to
surround. Yeah.
are we going to have to find a way to build houses to put these people in them? And then are we going to have to fight all the municipalities codes about what kind of
Mhm.
houses can be built where? Are
Right.
So out here in Cedar Creek, you have to have X amount of square footage in a house to build it, X amount of square footage on a lot to do it, and there's really no room to say put 7 houses on a 5-acre lot with a common septic system, all their own wells and all this other kind of stuff at a
Mhm.
price where the mid to early 30s people can afford to buy a house and get
Right. That's
started after their apartment. So
affordability.
if
Yeah.
you look at the scope of the idea of all of this through progress over a 20-year cycle, it's a great thing to bring to Muskegon, but we have to
Mhm.
start on the other elements of it too to creep it on down the line. Not that I think these things through or anything.
Yeah. How much of this goes back to the casino thing falling through?
None.
That kind of, because
None.
that was the big.
None. It's a huge thing for the casino to have fallen through. It's still not
Mhm.
off the table.
Right. It's still there.
there, right? But it's that excitement and pressure, and then it's not
Mhm.
going to happen.
Yeah.
It adds to the weight that a community carries, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with that.
This okay. I don't. Again, I don't like teasing people with anything, but this seems. I don't want to say it's
I
a done
agree.
deal. It
And
seems.
I'm
This
not
one
slamming
seems
it
like
at
they're
all.
doing this. This
I want
feels
people to
like
get the
it's a.
idea of this is great. Now we know to start
Mhm.
thinking about step 2. And if it doesn't happen, let's just not freak or feel all disappointed.
Mm.
I mean, people in Muskegon are more used to things being taken away from them than they are actually happening. And that is community exhaustion. And that
Mhm.
is a big part of our issue here.
You know, I realize we have two kind of not really opposing views on this, but I go back to a movie you haven't seen that you need to see, which is The Shawshank Redemption, about the idea of hope, where the Tim Robbins character Andy Dufresne is saying, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good things ever dies. Then Morgan Freeman's red characters, hope can drive a man insane. So it's not like it's one of
It's
those.
not that.
It's
I
but
think you're
what you're saying
misinterpreting.
is true, though. No,
Yeah.
what you're saying is true. Like if you're teased with it and then it doesn't happen, that's one of those things that can in fact drive you crazy. So there's
See?
truth to it, is my point.
Yeah. I mean,
there you go.
the reality of it is that the long-term planning,
Mhm.
and hey, give me the apartments downtown. I want them.
Yeah,
I want
yeah, I
that.
think.
I love it.
And it's you talk about affordable. You want it to be affordable, but you don't want it to be bargain basement.
No.
You know what I mean? It's one of
Nope.
those things where you want it to be at a certain level where people you want young up and comers who have good careers starting to put some roots down there.
Right. But you
And then,
also
when they decide to move out, hopefully they're moving out into the community
right.
that's just a little not too far away.
But you also have to factor in those who have been here through the entire mess since let's
Mhm.
go back to when the mall came down.
Right.
And you've got to keep things where they can stay too somehow.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's dude,
You're right.
it's a headache, and it's a headache I never imagined myself ever under any circumstances being one of the people that was sitting there looking at the knot and
Mhm.
trying to be a participant in untangling it. I never imagined
All
it.
right. Well, hopefully this goes through sooner rather than later.
Yes,
And
sir.
obviously, we'll keep you updated. Sports, Pistons off, Wings off. Another good piece of news for the Detroit Lions, of course. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson announced he's coming back. Now their DC, who was also up for head coaching job, Aaron Glenn, he's back. It's they're returning the firepower back to Detroit. So we shall see what 2024
Did we ever talk
brings.
about the new head coach from Michigan?
No, we don't.
Oh, we should.
Doesn't matter.
Because I got to look
we
at
should,
his
'cause-
face, and I can tell just by looking at the guy, he's coming out with a can of whoop ass.
Sharon Moore, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You get an offensive coordinator. You didn't get a big time name. Maybe Michigan going back to getting a Michigan man. This is usually where it goes off the rails.
No.
for Michigan.
Well,
Where
I
they
got
go
news
like,
for you.
we're going to have a Michigan man. To have they're losing a lot of guys, including their starting quarterback, who you can't name, to the NFL. So
Is it Mark?
I think it's going to be a lean year.
No.
It's going to be a lean year
It's
in
going to be
Ann
another
Arbor.
trip to Pasadena.
Enjoy your national champ. Enjoy the moment, Michigan fans. Oh, by the way, the moment's over.
Oh.
That's sports.
All right. Jeopardy. Facts about animals that you might be related to. 1200. You ready?
Let's do it.
The two-toed one of these can live up to 20 years, most of it upside down in the canopy of a rainforest.
Oh.
Doo-doo-doo.
Bats?
Doo-doo. Bats. Bats, you say?
They hang upside down.
Yes, they do. The answer is a sloth.
Yeah, I was thinking sloth, but I was thinking 3-toed sloth, not 2-toed sloth. Shit. Oh,
Hey,
damn it.
hey.
I had it. I had in my head. I was gonna say sloth. No, it's got to be a bat.
Is
It
this
is
gonna be
hanging
the way to
upside
speak?
down. If you didn't say,
You kiss your mother with that
if you
mouth?
didn't throw hang upside down, I would have
Seriously.
said sloth.
Really, and I even put in
Son of a
relative of
bitch.
yours at the beginning of it.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
Have a good weekend, butthole. See you Monday.
See ya.
Happy Friday, Muskegon. Our beautiful stretch of weather will continue over the next week, so let's take a look at your forecast brought to you by Trendy Health. We have much needed sunshine on the way for this weekend. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies for both Saturday and Sunday, so definitely go outside and enjoy the nice weather with temperatures in the 40s, and we'll stay in the 40s over the next week with no rain or snow either. Temperature-wise today will be a little bit cooler than we were yesterday since a dry cold front went through the region, but temperatures still will hit 40 degrees across much of Muskegon County. So for your Friday, expect partly cloudy skies. We'll see more sunshine in the afternoon than in the morning, with a high of 40 and a low of 24. So it will get cold overnight, as we'll have mostly clear skies and a fairly light wind. But then this weekend, mostly sunny skies will continue with temperatures in the mid to low 40s, and we'll stay in the 40s through next week as well, with a little bit more cloud cover by the end of next week, with possibly the next rain chance arriving just after this 7-day forecast. And that's your Friday and weekend forecast brought to you by Trendy Health on the Muskegon Channel, 9 Cool Woods Weather, and enjoy the sunshine out there.